When I was on Twitter, I was following the trad bros. I was following the patriarchy PickMes and all of that. But I left Twitter a few months ago. And so I didn't see all of this popping off. Someone dropped some tea in my inboxes, but last week over the Valentine's Day weekend, we were all horrified watching Trump fire people left and right. We're still horrified. That's a terrible situation. But today we're going to talk about these patriarchy pick-me's and the different drama that's going on over on Twitter. Now, Elon Musk has another baby mama. I don't know how many baby mamas he has, but he has at least 13 children, and he has a baby with this woman that is like half his age. He has another kid. So Ashley Sinclair is a patriarchy pick me. She says Elon Musk hasn't acknowledged their baby, urges him to finish their agreement in a terse statement. She made a statement on Twitter. People started sharing it, commenting on it. We're going to get to that. There's another patriarchy pick me that I'm going to get to as well. Patriarchy Hannah is a liar. She is cosplaying. She's not a real person. And this person here, Ryan Duff, took a deep dive into her. He says, join me on this deep dive as I explain how Hannah is a completely fabricated persona and how a random 37-year-old woman in Arkansas named Jennifer Bays is behind the account. I might have to make a part 2 after I go through the Ashley Sinclair and Elon Musk drama. But Patriarchy Hannah and this deep dive from Ryan Duff is also coming. So much for these patriarchy pick-me's and how they are cosplaying these traditional values. We need this tea today. First, let's start with this statement from Ashley Sinclair. She says, 5 months ago, I welcomed a new baby into the world. Elon Musk is the father. I have not previously disclosed this to protect our child's privacy and safety, but in recent days, it's become clear that tabloid media intends to do so, regardless of the harm it'll cause. I intend to allow our child to grow in a normal and safe environment. For that reason, I ask the media honor our child's privacy and refrain from invasive reporting. She put that out on Valentine's Day. When I saw that, I was like, isn't this one of those MAGA influencers, those traditional values people? She was like, yep. And I'm like, oh my goodness, the hypocrisy of these people. So she is a single mother. And I was going through some of the other comments on it. It looks like she's a single mother of 2 different babies. What? The hypocrisy of these people. Let's get into it. So this person named Michael Tracy retweeted her post saying, I'm very confused about what conservative cultural and moral values are supposed to be at the moment. But I'm not. These people have always been some hypocrites from the time that one man was in the bathroom tapping his foot trying to get male suitors to come into the bathroom while they lambast gay folks, from the time that they had been like pushing, let's have all the babies while stripping funding for free lunch and stripping funding for poor folks. Their values have always been confusion and contradiction. So this is no different. This is par for the course for conservatives. Back in 2022, Ashley Sinclair said of Kamala Harris, Kamala can't help herself from bending over for a man to get ahead as a mother of 2 babies out of wedlock. So this person shared one of Ashley's old tweets from 2019 saying, the only people who can destroy this toxic wave of feminism is women. Bring back family values. Make monogamy great again. It's okay to be a stay-at-home wife or mother. Stop thinking you need to do the same things as men to be good enough. Femininity is beautiful, but I had to highlight bring back family values. So Nellie Bly says, epitome of Republican hypocritical family values. Ashley Sinclair is 26 and Elon is 53. They probably used IVF. This is her second baby out of wedlock. Yet all the Christians are congratulating her. She preached about family values. She used to be known as sex laptop girl. What? Yeah, I was in these spaces just kind of watching and clicking and taking screenshots, but I didn't know that because I have never taken that deep of a dive into these people. This person named David posted some of these people congratulating her. Matt Gates says, this child has incredible genetics. Cat Turd says, congrats on your growing family, Ash. I'm floored right now, but in a good way. James O'Keefe saying, congrats, Ashley. Ginger Gates, Matt Gates's beard of sorts saying, love you, Mama Bear. Servanovich, whoever that is saying congratulations. But then David says, for years, Ashley Sinclair advocated against hypergamy, getting married and having children in wedlock. While I get their celebration, she now has 2 kids with 2 different men not getting married. On top of that, she's a certified gold digger. I love how so many people are pulling the receipts on things that she said. So back in 2023, she said, Vivek just called out the system for financially incentivizing single motherhood. The quartering says, I'm going to eat a block for this. Maybe I'm going to get a block for this, but it has to be said. These people are such hypocrites and they're so fake. They do not value the things that they say online. These people have such a lack of integrity. So Tiha says Christianity peeled conservatives when asked not to have kids out of wedlock, saying, I'm gonna take myself out. Oh, I love the hypocrisy. I am literally eating this up today. Tyler says, nothing inherently wrong with having a baby out of wedlock with the world's richest man who has like 12 other kids with random women. He did have kids with his wife. He did do that. But the rest of them, he's just dropping sperm here, there, and everywhere. Like, you get some sperm, you get some sperm. He continues though, but for Ashley St. Clair, it's hypocritical as F, considering she came to fame by promoting traditional conservative family values. And I am literally saying the same thing. I do not knock single mothers. I don't knock mothers at all that are doing this. I knock people that go hard against a certain thing only to be that thing. The hypocrisy is delicious, and people that are just congratulating her, I am just confusion. I am literally confusion. Okay, now Sarah says, how dare she drop this during Hannah Patriarchy Gate? How dare she drop this during Hannah Patriarchy Gate? And because of that, that made me go back to the tea that one of my friends had sent me because she gave me all the receipts for Hannah Patriarchy Gate. So let's dive into that a little bit. I might have to make this a part 2 because it's a lot of receipts for Hannah Patriarchy. So I showed this already. This man named Ryan Duff took a deep dive into Patriarchy Hannah. All right, Ryan says, first, some quick background. Patriarchy Hannah is an account that portrays a trad wife who has 14 kids. Her husband, Tony, owns a construction company in a town, Tonytown, where their family and kids live. They own a whole town. She literally wrote a whole fictional story. She's gained a large following over the past few years. She also ran a Discord community where some of her followers talk and hang out. Discord was disbanded yesterday after allegations surfaced that Hannah was not who she claimed to be. It started with the house. In November 2023, Hannah claimed that she just built a house in Tonytown for her son and soon-to-be daughter-in-law. Unfortunately, this house wasn't built by her husband and his friends. It was built by a custom home builder for a different person. So this is Patriarchy Hannah right here. And this man, Ryan, is coming with all of the receipts. The house matches the Google Street View and satellite imagery down to the propane tank in the side yard and the stairs down into the river. Property records confirmed it was built by a woman and her sister in 2020 for their mother, who has since passed in 2023. Hannah has since deleted this post when people called her out on it. But how did she get a picture of the house from across the river? Well, it turns out Hannah's parents, Bobby and Jolynn, own property there in the yellow box down below. As you can see, is convenient walking distance to the river peninsula behind the house she claimed they built in the red box. I'm going to start up with the part 2. So stay tuned. Getting back to this faker, this drama of this patriarchy pick me, patriarchy Hannah, and how she's just a fake. So this man named Ryan Duff did a deep dive, and this is part 2. So this is where I ended it. Hannah's family owns the property down in yellow. She went up to the red property, which is a walk, to snap photos. That's how she got a picture of the house she and her husband, Tony, live in. Okay, so Ryan continues with this deep dive. He says, okay, so how do you know Jennifer is Hannah? He answers, at one point, one of the ladies in the group was sent a stroller. The Amazon receipt said, from Jennifer. And the name on the Amazon account was Jennifer's mother, Jolynn, with an address in Arkansas. This address matches a whole set of addresses Jennifer and her parents have lived at across Arkansas and Louisiana. More evidence that points to the Bays family connection. And now that we have reasonable suspicion that Jennifer Bays is pretending to be Hannah, let's explore that a bit. And what's wild is all of this was coming out on Valentine's Day, the same day that all of that stuff with Elon Musk and the other patriarchy pick me, Ashley Sinclair, was coming out. Just so much tea, but I had no idea. Okay, the Louisiana house. A few years ago, Hannah had shared an address with some of the ladies in the group. Property records on that address showed an LLC listed as the owner. Louisiana business search records showed that LLC to be owned by Jennifer's parents, Bobby and Jolynn Bays. She also shared a picture in her Discord, which happens to match the Zillow pictures for that address. That's the thing. These people share stuff and then they forget what they share, but people can look some of this stuff up. It's crazy. Hannah's grandmother. In September, Hannah's grandmother passed away. As it turns out, it's the exact same day Jennifer's grandmother passed. In Jennifer's grandmother's obituary, there's a mention of a Haiti Education Foundation as a place to send donations. Hannah joked about this in Discord. The obituary also clarifies some details on the family. It confirms that Bobby and Jolynn Bays are the parents of Jennifer. Also, it clarifies that of the 4 grandchildren that Jennifer is included in, there are only 3 great-grandchildren. Tony. So far, there is no evidence that Tony, her husband, exists besides some lightly used X account that would occasionally interact with Hannah. Per Jennifer's grandmother's obituary, Jennifer is not married. As for the construction company Tony supposedly owns, building homes, it turns out that that's actually what Jennifer's father does. Kids. Per the obituary, Jennifer's grandmother 5 months ago, only 3 great-grandchildren were mentioned, but I thought Hannah had 14 kids. Does she have any at all? Who has time to build a whole fictional life and say that they have 14 kids? If you have 14 kids, you have no time to do anything. Can you imagine how much cooking and laundry that is? I have so much laundry with 2 kids. All right, it says Tonytown. Hannah has shared pictures of Tonytown where they live. As it turns out, this is just the next town north of Jennifer's parents' house in Arkansas. Yet another figment of this imaginary tale. Ryan says, multiple people have spoken to Hannah on the phone, but no face-to-face. She often denied requests to video chat. At one point, those close to her asked for proof of who she was, and she provided a photo. Unfortunately, the photo she provided was pulled from someone else's Facebook profile. 2 separate sources have confirmed that the photo below was given by Hannah as proof of identity. People can't do reverse image searches. These people are so crazy. Technology allows folks to uncover all this BS. I'm surprised she was able to do this for so long. He says, one last point. I've crafted this thread as carefully as I could, exposing just enough detail to confirm what I found without compromising additional names, locations, or addresses. I've withheld images from certain parts because of the sensitive nature. I hope that Jennifer will come clean about her ruse and apologize to those she's hurt with her lies. Sometimes these things start off fun, but then spiral out of control, and I think that's where this is now. And then he said, and deleted. She deleted Patriarchy Hannah's whole page. It's gone. So February 17th, when it's clear that she's been exposed, and I guess before she deleted her profile, she put out this statement saying, I just want to say I'm sorry for the lies I told and the hurt I caused. I never intended for this account to become as big as it did. And once things started snowballing, I enjoyed the relationship I built and didn't know how to put an end to it. It was wrong of me. I have repented of this behavior and will not be back on X. I'm sorry to everyone I hurt with my lies. Some things that have been said are true and some things are wildly inaccurate, but I don't see a point in sorting it all out. The bottom line is that I am not who I presented myself to be. I'm not going to be giving my reasons for why I started because I am not looking for sympathy here. It was wrong, and I humbly hope that you all can find it in your hearts to forgive me in the future. Please stop reaching out to my family. They're aware of the situation, but are very freaked out by people trying to make contact with them. They didn't do anything to deserve this attention. I'm sure you understand. So that is how she ended it. Wow. She created this whole thing and she enjoyed the attention that it brought. She was able to do all of this with an avatar and some talking points, and people bought into it. Why people follow these fake, like anybody can be anything. I literally can be anything, but I don't present myself with crazy talking points. I don't think. Anyways, that's how she ended it. And then Ryan commented on that saying, this is why we can't have nice things. Please hear me when I say this. Patriarchy Hannah is a deeply troubled individual who has previously been arrested for identity theft and has been exposed as a complete fraud. She exhibits many behaviors of a psychopath, and this is the next play to try and recover what was lost. Do not fall for it. Any inch you give in her life, she will take a mile. I'm really tired of seeing well-intentioned people get repeatedly caught up in stuff like this. As they say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. The deceiver takes the shame the first time around, but it's on you if you let them deceive you again. So that was Ryan's ending points. But then John had to say, it's actually fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, and you can't get fooled again. Y'all needed to see that because some of us are old enough to understand why that gets an LOL. And then Martina says, that's the correct quote. Y'all needed that laugh because that just went there perfectly. This account called Trad Posting L says, the problem is not that Patriarchy Hannah had an online anonymous persona and was trolling. The problem is that she catfished women for years into guilt and made herself a false standard. How many others in the trad movement are doing this? Exactly. And how many women are falling for this crap online? How many? And then finally, these last two screenshots. Aaron says, is it just me or am I the only person who has never heard or encountered Patriarchy Hannah until this controversy about her identity happened? And then Danny says, this is her. She says, me, explaining the Patriarchy Hannah situation to my seldom online husband. So hopefully everybody enjoyed all of that expose. That dude named Ryan did the work. He put in the work in that thread. And so much of this is cosplaying because most of that traditional value stuff, they aren't living it, nor can you, like, how are you going to pull all that off? Those trad wife influencers are making money. They are not seen up here being dutiful wives dressed up and made up. That is not even possible. So I love this expose and pulling back the curtain because it needs to be exposed. Anyways, join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.